Oh, you ever think about the fact that the vast majority of like YouTube people and podcast people, you never ever see their pants? Like, they could just not be wearing pants the whole time and you wouldn't even know. Maybe that's what Joe Rogan meant when he said Jamie pulled that up. This little guy got done today. Check that out. He's like a mutant alien spider slug. These are eyes, the round things. I think we're gonna give him a black and red undercoat and then like a beige or white overcoat, and the eyes are gonna stay black. Man-made horrors beyond my comprehension. Morning roundup. Everything is printing better. I did the slice for the alien. There, I'll kind of show you. Yeah, it's hard to do this with the camera. But yeah, most things... Oh, it fell in. What am I doing with my shelf? Yep. Most things I don't like to do the thing where you print a section and then glue it on or whatever, because it's really hard to make it look good. But if it's a nice round kind of flat surface like that, it's actually more doable. But man, some of you guys out there, you got to know what customers really want. Like, they don't want to see that you like glued a bunch of crap together, you know. Recently we sold 2 of these D20s. I have recently started making a habit to always have an extra, because these things are a biatch to print. We sold a big alien. You guys have not seen one of these finished yet. It's like the small aliens, except big. Here's the other D20. Obviously recycled material. It's gonna have some streaks and stuff. This is getting painted anyway. This printer does a great job with these D20s. For some reason, with some of these kind of shapes, it's easy to get layer shifts, but this guy, I think it's only done it once. It ain't that bad. This is actually the first failure with the purple rolls, which are the ones with 10% recycled material. But this seems like a pretty normal nozzle clog. Especially it like happened, here's a clue. It happened really suddenly, like right here, perfect, more or less print, and then all of a sudden it just starts being like this. It could be that the filament got thick, because that effectively clogs it, but this does not feel thick. Although I will get my micrometer and check it out. Now we have a truly weird problem with this. This is an eagle head, and you'll see that it stopped right about there and the head stopped here. I thought maybe it was a problem with the printer, but it did it again. Now this is what it does when your file on the card is actually messed up. But the weird thing is, I've printed this a bunch of times before, so I guess the file could have been corrupted somehow, but if that's what happened, that's a very rare thing. So take a look at this. This is the one that had the purple dots that messed up. That is a clog, for sure. So there's your problem. So I would say our purple filament is probably still good. I don't think I've had a single failure with it. Package a couple of things. This is my Italian hand wall thing. It's got a little bit of a fade finish. This is like a big deal for a while there. A blue sharky boy. So here's a little pet peeve of mine. I have customers that buy my stuff and do this amazing custom paint like this, and then they leave a good review and stuff, which of course is all very great. But then I have like people messaging me being like, what do I select in order to get that item painted like that? Or they'll leave bad reviews saying that it didn't look like the picture from the customer review. I mean, these listings have pictures. Like, you see what you get. And plus, you have to select a color. Like, none of the colors in the drop-down menu say like full color or anything that would indicate that it's gonna look like that. So you just don't get to leave a bad review. It just doesn't make sense. Like, why would you think a customer review necessarily, especially if it's like some detailed thing like that, why would you think a customer review is a better indicator of what it's gonna look like than the actual pictures on the listing? I mean, I can sort of see how it's confusing, but like, look at this. Do you think you're gonna get this for like a normal price? That's like amazing. I'm not gonna do that for not getting extra. This is another one of those big international labels that has 4 labels. Time to get inclined. Grande. Let's do this. I told the guys in there to check out the series, the YouTube series. Hopefully they will. Anyone that doesn't know, I'm sort of originally from Kokomo, Indiana. And there used to, I just remembered there used to be this place called Taco Grande, which was like a generic brand Taco Bell. And I used to like it a lot as a kid. Don't know what made me think of that, other than the box saying Grande. This international label was like 130 bucks or something, so I'm walking it in myself. Receipts. I'm gonna be honest, I'm really tempted to eat out right now. I think what I'm gonna do is go to the thrift store and then go home and cook. Sometimes it's almost just like you just want to go somewhere, you know? Like, you don't even really want to eat. Eating out, I'm not gonna eat ya. Here's the question of the day. Judging by the band name, which band name would sound the most appetizing? This is Bananarama, which sounds pretty good. Least appetizing band? The Beatles. Eating a Led Zeppelin would be pretty bad too. Oh man, this is a cruel summer. Oh man, random closures. No bueno. One of my favorite things about this place is there's just a random mailbox that doesn't make any sense. Man, I was trying to thrift away my temptations. I guess I'm just gonna have to actually use some willpower. Maybe we'll get coffee. Coffee opened up my door. Now I want coffee even more. You know what time it is.
How can I get you started?
Yeah, you know what? I'll get a large pumpkin spice iced latte.
Alrighty.
Just like it comes and everything.
You said a large?
Yup.
Alright, you can pull forward.
Thanks. First PSL of the season. Longtime viewers will remember that I said I only drink the fancy coffee every so often. I think it's been about a month, so I think we're good. You don't have to get coffee to be my girl. Oh, the coffee's rich, girl. The coffee's rich, girl. And you're gone too far, cause you put too much sugar anyway. Only money, money, old man's coffee. My blasphemous opinion, the Aerosmith version of Come Together is better than the Beatles. Roast me in the comments. I think what it was, Aerosmith really wanted to cover a Beatles song, but most Beatles songs didn't sound sleazy enough for them. So they were just like, okay, we'll go with this one. All right, we're back in caffeinated, and I think we're gonna be painting this abomination. I was gonna give it the red undercoat, but I remembered I wanna make these eyes black or rather I want to make these, leave these eyes black. So I think we're going to try and tape them off. Then we're going to do the red undercoat, and then over it, haven't decided whether we're going to do beige or white. I'm just going to see how it turns out before that and decide. I used to paint like Warhammer stuff. I did a lot of model painting as a younger person. And so I kind of want to get into doing stuff like this again. Finding efficient ways to paint crazy looking things like this, I mean, it could be pretty big. Sometimes you got to try stuff. Like, I don't know, this could be like the next $1 million item. It's gonna freak out a lot of grandmas though. So I normally don't do this much detail on something this small. So this is a little experimental, but we're gonna tape off the eyes. And how you do this, for anybody that doesn't know, is you just kind of use, that was gonna be really cool to do that one-handed. You use this to cut a perimeter, leaving only the tape on the part that you want to remain black. Might be a little hard to tell, but actually you can kind of see. I've cut around this round part. When we pull this tape off, it should only leave this circle, but you have to be careful. There we go. This is why I like doing this on larger things. It's easier to be more precise. We didn't quite get full coverage, so we're gonna use more tape and just do it again. I'm listening to some 90s trip hop right now. I wish it wouldn't get me copyright struck if I put this in the video, but this is like, I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling like super creative listening to this. Like I said, too bad I can't put it in the video. So we're getting there. There's some pieces here that are really hard to get. And so that's what you use tweezers for, your best friend. Man, I wish I could put this in the video. This sounds so good. That's a lot of eyes. So after doing this, I've concluded it would have been way easier just to paint these eyes by hand rather than do the whole masking tape thing. There is advantage in doing the masking tape thing, but I really think it's only with the larger sizes. For instance, with this giant alien that's printing, we make the eyes black, or, well, we make them whatever color the customer orders, and I don't remember. But since they're so big, it's really not easy to paint the whole thing with this paint marker. So we tape it off. I think that's the key. It needs to be a big thing. This is small enough. I can do it by hand pretty easily. We put a coat of paint on the Terror Horror Nightmare Slug. Now we're gonna work on this orangutan. This is a sculpt. I'm gonna kind of put it, we're gonna make this a headphone stand that mounts on the wall basically. So we gotta like trim things, and these eyes came out a little suboptimal. Since eyeballs are pretty easy to make, I think we're just gonna start from scratch. Maybe bring it in a little. It's a pretty decent looking eye. We'll just do both sides like that. That's looking like a cheeky monkey. You can see I've rotated a bit. We're probably gonna cut it like that because this is supposed to be a wall mounted thing. But yeah, we're just gonna put that sort of in. That worked pretty good. Let's just smooth this. We're probably not even gonna see this part. It'll be up against the wall and a lot of it'll be cut off, but yeah, we'll make it nice and smooth. Part of the art of doing some of these is figuring out where to cut it. To me, that looks like a pretty good place. You kind of want the thing of like, I don't know. I don't really know how to put this into words. Maybe just a little more though. You have to think about how much plastic this is gonna take. This is a pretty rounded object. Things that have more like little divots and details take up more plastic. So this ought to be all right. Kind of random, but somebody on Etsy is gonna order 3 sharks, and they want the third one to be a custom project, which I love because I get to charge them a bunch of money. but actually I'll probably just charge them a normal rate. It would be like, maybe I'll pitch the whole thing for $450. It's a pretty nice, especially when you only have to design one of them. That's a nice little day of work. Not even a day, you know, a few hours to design the new one and just print the other stuff. Anyway, back to the monkey. Ape, sorry. All we have to do is just size this. I might have to draw a couple supports for these ears because they're gonna be overhangs. But this is gonna be a pretty nice custom project for somebody. I think we can actually get these to print without supports. I'm just gonna close in this gap right here, kind of make the ears flat against the head. There we go, that ought to print supportless. It's a pretty good looking monkey ear. That's easily in the top 10 monkey ears of all time. I keep forgetting to eat. This is a new thing for today. These are squash boats. Squash with a little bit of the stuff scooped out, which I actually save and fry up. This is air fried. That's al pastor meat. We've got the Salvadorian cream on it, just kind of melting into it really nicely. A little spice. This is a very healthy thing that I haven't tasted yet, but I'm pretty sure is amazing. Okay, I just want to say I tasted this for the first time and it's unbelievable. I've never air fried squash like this before, but especially when it has the al pastor meat that kind of soaks into it, it gets this, I don't even know how to describe it, savory flavor. It's just mind-blowing. All right, this is a little sneak preview. And we're gonna do some small ones. I mean, that's pretty horrifying, isn't it? Goes all the way down, baby. It's super late, but this guy, the outer paint is dry. And we're gonna pull off one of the eyes and see how it looks. Moment of truth. Let's see if we can get a hold of it. These lines are gonna have to be touched up, but the lines need touched up a little bit, but I would say this pretty much does look like a horrifying alien mutant space slug monster. We'll take some product photos of this and get this available for sale. Again, if any of you guys would be interested in getting the object file, the STL file for like $5, write in the comments and I'll make a listing. Imagine making a giant one of these. I may very well do that. I touched up the eyes. You can kind of see they're nice and clean looking, if that's the word. Last thing for the day, the blades actually came loose on this and I had to put different blades. So I took blades from another blender and actually mounted them on this. You can see that I've attached this metal part with JB Weld so it's not moving anywhere. But it was really hard to get this in there because the ratchet, I obviously have very little space to turn it in here. Nothing major, but that's what I just did. I'm gonna finish the day by doing a little recycling and then it's gonna be time to close up the shop. Thanks for watching. I have some questions in this episode that I've forgotten about now, but if you remember, write them in the comments. Peace out.